Health, they say, is wealth, and anybody that is healthy could be said to be wealthy. And that brings us to the topic of discussion today, though continuation from where we stopped last week. Coronavirus and public relations approach in preventing COVID-19. And my guests are still in the studio with me. They were with me last week, and of course, they poured their mind on certain areas of coronavirus and the health implication on the people, though it's been declared as a pandemic by the World Health Organization. Join me as I welcome into the studio Consultant Public Health Management from the Federal Medical Center, Abeokuta, Dr. Mojirola Martina Fashiku. You are welcome this week once again.
Thank you very much.
And on my immediate right-hand side, I have a medical laboratory scientist, and is on the Ogun State Health Management Board, Pastor Felix Akintaju. You are most welcome once again, sir.
Hello, viewers. Thank you for watching. Thank you for.
And also, Mr. Emmanuel Oka is a media personality, a broadcaster of note, a journalist. You are welcome once again, sir.
It's a great delight to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, last week we were talking about the issue of coronavirus and the public relations perspective, the approach to prevent this COVID-19. And my guests actually dovetail into areas that people should be careful about. And let me go to Dr. Fashiku. You mentioned certain medical areas last week, but can you please enlighten our people on the preventions? What are the areas of preventive measures to be put in place to avoid this virus?
Okay, thank you very much. To start with, to prevent the virus, usually it's better we maintain good personal and especially hand hygiene. Wash your hands regularly. It's very important, especially with soap and water. So when you have touched surfaces,
okay,
it's better you wash your hands. You can wash it regularly. I'm saying this because, you know, every time we touch phones, we touch tables, we touch handles of doors, and, you know, we touch so many surfaces. So it's better every time you remember, just try to wash your hands, because we mentioned earlier that it's transmitted by droplets. So, and the droplets can be on surfaces. Okay. So it's important for us to wash our hands at all times. Some people talked about hand sanitizers. Yes. Fine, it's also good. But when your hands are visibly dirty, hand sanitizers are not advisable.
Wow.
You have to wash your hands with soap and water.
Okay. They said under running water. How do we do that?
Okay, for those that, ideally, for those that have running water,
okay,
the first thing to do is to open the tap, let it be running, wet the palm, then put soap, then wash.
Okay.
Wash your palm to palm, then palm to back.
Okay.
You can see palm to back. Then you should actually take care of your fingers.
We have one here.
Okay.
Maybe to show people at home how to apply it. How do you say it? This sanitizer. Maybe you apply so that you can teach people at home how to apply, because people just rub their hands like this. And I like that you can just, this narrow area, maybe you just put it to practice.
Okay, so you do palm to palm, then back to palm, then your fingers to the palm. I'm also trying to combine the two in terms of washing your hands too, because we don't have a tap here, so it's wash your hands.
So you use the same system to wash your hands?
You can use the same system.
Okay.
Then, can you see the interdigits? You can do that. Then your thumb, don't forget your thumb. People usually forget their thumb. Okay. Then the fingers to fingers. Okay. It's usually good that you do it that way. Then it's advisable, like I said, to always wash your hands with soap and water. People will tell you that they can't afford to buy hand sanitizers. You can wash with soap and water. So that is better.
And that kills it?
Yes.
Okay.
The virus can easily be removed by washing with soap and water. Another thing I want to talk about is the face mask. You see everybody putting on the
I
face
was coming
mask.
to ask you that.
So it is
who and who should use it, and at what time do people use it?
okay. Ideally, it's supposed to be those that are ill, those that are coughing,
Okay.
that should use it so that they prevent others from getting the disease, or those that are taking care of them.
Okay.
If you know, but for everybody to be watched, because the way people are now putting it on, some people you see they will now remove it and put it below their
Yeah,
chin.
yes.
Yeah, they're touching it again. You are
Okay.
contaminating yourself. So ideally, when you want to remove it, you remove from the back. You don't touch the surface.
Okay.
So people should not just go about buying in panic, buying face masks that is airborne and all that. In particular, the WHO has not come out to say that it is airborne.
Okay.
So the commonest is the droplets that we're talking about. Fine, it can go a bit of a distance, but that's not to say that it's airborne, that everywhere you go to. That can be, some people would say that it can be in the surface for some hours and all that, but your hygiene should take care of that. And don't touch your mouth, your nose. Then cough etiquette is also important.
Okay.
When
I was
you
going
want
to
to
quickly
cough,
let us to know. And when they cough,
Yes.
when they sneeze, and when
when
they
you
join,
want to cough,
yes, quickly do that
sneeze,
before I go to Doctor, to Pastor.
I'm not putting on a long sleeve. So
Okay.
if I want to cough, I'll do this.
Okay.
For those putting on the cough sleeve, long sleeve,
sleeve.
then you can cough onto your elbow.
Okay.
You understand? Cough into your elbow, sneeze there.
Okay.
You understand that. So it's better you do it on, for those that are not putting on
Long sleeve.
long sleeve.
Okay.
Okay, another thing is social distancing, and that's why it's important for us to stay at home during this period. It's not for the entire
it's not-
world.
it's not-
Yes,
it's not
entirety.
punishment.
It's not punishment at all. That's what some of them in the developed countries are angry about now. They didn't ask their people to stay at home initially, and that's why they are advising us to curtail this thing. You have to stay at home for a while. Let it pass. That's why the government is saying don't go here, and even in our homes, I know we will also want to go to the market, get some, but if you don't have a reason to go out,
stay
please just stay at home.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
it's-
Thank you very much, Dr. Fashi. Let me go to Pastor Akintajuna. Sir, as a religious person, government has banned religious activities. What about when people die and they will have cause to bury such a person? How do we control that gathering? How do we control the crowd? Men of God will also be there. How do we do that at this critical time?
Well, it's a pandemic. And because it's a pandemic, definitely things will not be done in the usual way.
Okay.
And for us not to do things in the usual way, if we want to get the result that we are all hoping to get, we must have total compliance to the regulations and the rules.
Okay.
So for religion, there are different modes of burial ceremony.
Okay.
The advocacy, what we are advocating is that avoid crowd.
Okay.
So minimum number of people can still perform this rite.
Okay.
In either of the religion,
Okay.
the leader priest, either imam or a pastor, conduct the service.
Yes.
So one or two other officials can assist. The core family members will be there. One or two other people, in-laws, will be there. By the time we get to 20,
Okay.
it should be enough so that we give them a befitting burial. Because it will be better to give a befitting burial and live to take care of what the fellow had left behind than giving a befitting burial and contacting what will even sentence you to death.
A number of people.
I was reading this morning that some people went for a party somewhere in London, and after the party, 2 people have died already of coronavirus. Many of the people that attended are quarantining themselves now. So, just because we want to socialize and what, so we need to really comply strictly to what we are saying. So each religion should comply.
Okay.
And if burials can be postponed for this season, let's keep the body in the mortuary. And when everything is well and we are sure we can guarantee our self-sustenance and our being alive, then we can go ahead and
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Emmanuel Okasi, journalist and public analyst. Now, this is a very critical time in the world all over.
Definitely.
And we have to protect ourselves, as they have been saying. And hand sanitizer, face masks, and the rest of them. We have seen so many malls, markets, extorting people in the name of buying this thing. What was being sold for 800 naira is now 2,005. What was it? So 1,000 is becoming 3,500 naira. Don't you see this is an economic burden on the people, especially when people are being asked to stay at home?
Oh, well, that is something we have inflicted upon ourselves. Even though the coronavirus affected oil prices, but if we are considerate as fellow humans, it should not affect certain things.
Okay.
Definitely, there are still the natural effect of these things. Number one is for the hand sanitizers and face masks. When things like this happen, the demand jumps up.
Yes.
And once the demand of anything jumps up, scarcity is bound to, after scarcity is inflation. But the truth is that we are inflicting this thing upon ourselves. And that is because people tend to have this tendency of benefiting from every situation.
Yes.
Let us go back to humanity. But one of the other places where we've got it wrong is how we peddle these things, which is very important. We are on TV now. Let's tell ourselves the truth. Some people do not have the opportunity to see us. That's because there's no electricity. That is why social distancing and a lockdown in Nigeria will be very hard today. Let us deploy other means. Okay. One other place we should look at is the social media. And now is the time to be extra sensitive with the use of social media. Just go through WhatsApp and see barrage of messages that are false, that have no sort of iota of truth in them.
Facebook,
yes,
Twitter.
Facebook, Twitter. Well, the beauty of it is many of these platforms are already taking actions.
Okay.
Twitter, for example, Twitter is now using algorithms. There is a 2020 algorithms on Twitter. What they do is that they bring correct information about coronavirus to the top. So that when you log into Twitter, those are the first set of things you see correct ones.
Oh.
They intentionally now relegate the false ones to the background or remove them. YouTube is removing false videos from their platform, or videos of people saying the coronavirus is not true. YouTube is removing them. So if all of this can be done, then we should be very careful. The strategists on social media should be careful of what they push. It is not, don't be the one to break news. We have that, we want to break news, we want to break news. Let the right authorities do it. NCDC and WHO. If you want figures, there is a worldometer that you can, not just, they said 100 people, they said 200 people. These things affect all of us a lot, and we need to be very careful. Let us also take this campaign to the grassroots.
Okay, I was coming there. I was coming to the grassroots.
Yes.
Since even people at the grassroots are not even well informed.
They are not.
They are not well informed.
They just know there is a coronavirus,
yes.
and they say koro.
Even the children are home now.
Now, I think what the government should do is to bring community leaders on board. The monarchs, the CDAs, the communities, gather them in that number, less than 20 in Ogun State here. Enlighten them. Let them go back. Enlighten family heads. Okay. Let family heads now go back. Enlighten their family. That is how we can spread information. Let there be billboards, physical things that people can see.
It's conspicuous enough.
It sticks better. If I see this thing, there's a sign that says "Do not shake." I passed through here once. I see it will stick in my head. By the time I'm meeting somebody, I may be forced to shake. I'll just remember and just withdraw my hand. So we should take it down to the grassroots. And one other thing is the markets. What is happening with our markets? Go to Adaton, go to Omida, go to Lafewa, Kuto, go to Lagos. People still struggle for buses. People struggle to buy. All of these things, we should find a way to put ourselves under control.
And government says that maybe probably in few days to come, soldiers be on the street to control this. Don't you say this is an infringement on people's rights?
Well, it is when you are alive that you have a right
to claim.
Yes. Though I may be quite skeptical on the use of soldiers, because from what we know in Nigeria, there is the place of human rights abuse and overzealousness on part of some of our security officers. Let us recall when there was Okada ban in Lagos, our police officers started using the opportunity to harass people. So let us be careful. I think we should not even get to the stage of using soldiers. Let us as individuals know that this pandemic is real. It spreads fast, and let us ensure that we control it. A lockdown will be hard in Nigeria if we be sincere with ourselves, because number one is that we are not used to it. Number two is that we do not have an organized structure. When we say there is a lockdown and I run out of supplies in my house, how do I get it? Who can I call to deliver at my doorstep? So these are things we should all consider, and let us arrest this thing quickly before it becomes escalated.
Yeah, before it becomes escalated, this is your image on the station: coronavirus and public relations approach to preventing COVID-19. And my guests are still very much in the studio. You can join the conversation via our social media: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you can also log on to our website at www.pr-primus.com.ng. And let me go back to Dr. Fashiku. Public hospitals, don't you see the need for government to open a test laboratory for people to have free access to come in, do the test, and go back so that I can know your status? Don't you think this is possible?
Okay, right now they have places where the test can be conducted, but now you're even telling people to stay in their houses. Why? Because you are putting them at risk, putting others at risk too when they are moving.
Okay.
So it's better you put a phone call through to the numbers that are designated.
Dedicated numbers.
Yes.
Okay.
For the for NCDC, even for the states, we have numbers that you can call on, that they will definitely come and meet you so that they can carry. But for everybody to be going out, you know, we are the ones telling them to stay at home. So it is very difficult for you to say that, okay, everybody should just be going and get tested, because common cold is common.
Yes.
That's why it's called common cold. So people can have common cold and not corona, and everybody tends to be running into, yes, that's why you say stay at home. Okay. For some, here comes those that are at risk, are elderly ones, those that have underlying disease. For those that don't have this, sometimes the disease just take its course. They will definitely get well. Viral infections like common cold, sometimes if you don't even do anything, you get better. But for those that have signs and symptoms, difficulty breathing, then that means they need care. So they can call. But for some, the disease will just take its course and they'll be fine. That's why we are saying stay at home. Don't get in touch with anybody. Don't stay, so that people don't contract the disease from you. Yes.
Now let me go to Pastor Akintaju. I want to go religious now. As a pastor, some people have said, is God not angry with the people of the world? What is your opinion about this? It has never happened like this. Even HIV/AIDS has never been this pandemic. So what is your opinion as a man of God?
Thank you very much. Thank you, Vias. Before I go to your question, I just want to add something to the test, because that's my core faith. To me, I feel we don't have enough screening centers. We have 3 centers recognized in Nigeria: Abuja, Lagos, and Irua.
And where?
Irua.
In Edo State?
Yes.
Okay.
As we are talking of pandemic, what does it cost the government to come up with other facilities? Because for the testing, we use real-time polymerase chain reaction machine. Real-time polymerase chain reaction, we won't believe that many of our private universities have this machine in their molecular biology laboratories. So I think I want to appeal that our government should call on the people that are specialists in molecular biologists in this country. Many. I'm one of them, and we have many. So we should be able to encourage those people. Let's gather some people together on state level. Let them come on. Let's fish out. Where can we get this machine? That, because I believe those that have the machine will be willing to allow us to use the machine for this present strain. Instead of taking sample from Ondo State, you either go to Irua, or you come to Lagos, or you go to Abuja. To me, the seriousness in that aspect, as a professional, I feel we should really handle it in a better way. Besides polymerase chain reaction, we have kits that can do antigenic testing. As I'm talking to you, we have kits that can do IgM, IgG antibody testing. These are different rapid kits. Do you know, sir, when HIV first came and we were working on only the first set of diagnosis, which we have to go to the laboratory. By the time Immunocom came and we began to do rapid testing, we were able to pick more HIV patients. The same thing with tuberculosis. By the time Gene Expert came, that we were able to detect the TB, and we also detect drug-resistant TB. The term of TB is gradually going down because it is in virtually most of the local governments in the country. We have Gene Expert in virtually all of them that handle that. So I think we should roll out kits, roll out machine. Let's increase testing, because if we don't do that, we will not be able to control the spread. Realizing that in the asymptomatic stage, they have the ability to affect people. Now back to the question of religion. The issue of religion, I feel every one of us should realize that it is true, faith works. Believing in God works. But the issue is that the level of our understanding will drive what we get from God when we are praying. So I will still appeal that every one of us, while we are using our faith, we should not also, like we are talking of hygiene now, personal hygiene. That, to me, there are certain religions that are even good in that. Their religions support that. And many other religions, some don't see it that way. So I think it's a good opportunity of putting religion apart. Let's abide with what we are saying. Personal hygiene will help a lot. For some time now, some of us are used to, when we are talking unconsciously, we touch our nose. Yes. Unconsciously, we adjust our glasses. Unconsciously,
somebody even says it's even more than 10 commandments.
We handle our phone. People are in the lecture, they are in the church, they are pressing phone, they are chatting. Yes. If some of these things that we are doing abnormally can even be stepped down, we could be able to go a long way to control this particular pandemic that we are in.
Oh, that is a fantastic one. Mr. Emmanuel Oke, before we wrap it up, I need your opinion sincerely as a journalist on the role of government in curbing this. This is a critical time in this country, in the world all over the world. Now, you mentioned something that we have just three centers. Yes. Please, your opinion.
Well, it would be intellectually dishonest of anybody to say the government is not doing anything.
Okay.
But what I feel is the government should do more. There is still the place of doing more. And that is what we should encourage the government to do. First off is the control centers or the call centers. Let us look at that number. It is not a number you can easily remember if you've not written it down. Yes. In Ogun State here, we have a 081 number that before you think of it, there's problem.
And that is the role of the media.
Yes, that
should be helping us to.
Yeah, aside from the role of the media, the government should provide simple 3-digit numbers that are reachable. Yes, emergency numbers. And we should also desist from playing with those lines. I see some people, if you go on social media, some people are pranking the centers. It is very wrong. They should be arrested, actually. So, but back to the government now. The government we should also encourage the government to do adequate information sharing. Let us know the truth about anything and everything. All right. Because we deserve it. So another thing the government should do is to also ensure that is to ensure rapid response. Things are put in place. He spoke about centers. Then the same for treatment, facilities for treatment. I know the doctors are complaining already that there is no facility. Get to the state hospital here, get to FMC. There is no on the ground preparation for coronavirus. That is where I'm blaming the government. They should do more.
Okay. A quick one, Dr. Fashiku. Just a quick one before you round off. Your message to the people on this.
Please, right now, let us stay at home. For those of us that are not taking care of emergencies, please let us stay at home. Let us observe cough etiquette and let us observe social distancing. And another thing is that once someone is ill, please kindly report to the healthcare provider. And please don't let us be giving false information to people. False information can create panic, and most people, by God's grace, would survive this COVID-19.
Thank you very much. A quick one, Pastor Akintaji. Few seconds.
Thank you very much. I really want to appeal to our people, especially in the line of faith now. Since we believe that when we pray, God will answer our prayers. 2 Chronicles chapter 7 verse 14 told us that if my people which are called by my name shall humble themselves, if they shall forsake their sins, if they shall turn from their wicked ways, God said he will hear from heaven, he will forgive our sins, and he will heal our land. So I think more than before, let's create time to pray more. Let's call on that God to give our government wisdom, to give all of us, and then for the healthcare providers, where we also belong, I want all of us to be very careful in the process of attempting to help others. Don't implicate yourself, don't get yourself infected, keep to your personal protective equipment, don't assume that this patient does not have coronavirus. So we were able to keep to that. We'll be able to outlive the pandemic of this coronavirus. Thank you.
Mr. Emmanuel, okay, quick one, very quick one.
Wisdom, they say, is profitable to direct. Listen to what the government is saying. Stay at home. Practice social distancing and practice hygiene. Organizations provide hand washing equipment and hand sanitizers. That is it from me. Thank you very much, and that's how much we can take this week and on your image on the station, coronavirus and population's approach to preventing COVID-19. And that's how much we can take this week. I want to say a very big thank you to my guest, Dr. Mojirola Martina Fashiku of FMC Abeokuta. Thank you very much for being part of our show, and we appreciate your contribution. Pastor Felix Akintaju, a medical laboratory scientist, thank you so much. We appreciate your contribution. And of course, Mr. Emmanuel Oke, a media personality. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Until we meet next week, God willing, let's be hygienic, let's help government to help ourselves, and let's be good Nigerians. COVID-19 has come and it will go, God willing. See you next week.
Thank you.